Hello, this is David. Welcome to Equities Story. I'm with Mr. Wolfie and general share advice and not personal advice. Wolfie, I just had a look at the announcement. The one I didn't see your video yesterday. I'm sorry about that, but I did get all excited.
Don't care, do you?
I did get all excited with you and Claude going, yippee! We're going to have a Santa rally. So I felt so good yesterday because I was like, it was my 25th wedding anniversary. I was with my wife. I had jingle bells, Santa rally, and is that still going to happen?
Look, one hopes so. I mean, at least we got the toughest bits out of the way, right? Which is the inflation numbers were within expectations. The interest rate or cash rate rise by the Fed was within expectations. The only thing that's put a little bit of a dampener on last night was the final, I suppose, talk from Powell that we might settle around the 5.1% rates, which is maybe slightly above what the market's expected, what they're going to come up with. So, yeah, look, we're not that far away anyway, right? So it probably doesn't matter whether it's 4.0 or 5.1. I don't think it's going to kill anyone. And the things you've got to remember also, it is a lagging indicator of everything else. So this is done first, and then we're going to see what effect does it have on inflation and, of course, on the economy. So I'm sort of in the camp
what's your gut feeling on lagging? Is it about 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, about 2-3 months. I'd say maybe even up to 6 months, because sometimes remember some of the purchases that the people do, like a car, right? Which is the used cars. It could take 6 months before that sort of comes through the numbers. So for me, it's up to 6 months. Probably 1 to 3 months would be the one I'd be looking at.
Yeah, I mean, Wolf, this is my issue with it, and I'm just looking at. For me, it's the things that matter, right? Which I have to pay for every day, like food, shelter, right? Those are sort of points for me that I have an issue with, because they're higher, and certain points like this, like for example, okay, petrol. Maybe most people will fill the car up once a week, but things like issues like, for example, used cars. I mean, how many times do you buy a used car? Once a year. It's it's the core things that worry me are still going. Are still up.
They're up. They are still at a high elevated level. So I think just thinking what might happen here is, say they raise it to 4.5%, right, at the moment. Potentially the expectations are now they might move another 0.5, 0.25, and just then see how it all flows through to the economy, to see how it affects inflation, whether that, say, the food and the shelters and everything else, will that come down further? Because it's still, we're still elevated around the 7% level, and that needs to come down, right? And I think one of the big investors out there in America said we need to readjust our thinking, and instead of having the norm at 2%, we're comfortable with 3% should be the norm, especially in this current climate and world, right? So I get it. 3% is still manageable, I suppose. So I think it's just now, can we see those numbers over the next couple of months starting to inch down? And once we do that, I think then the Fed will probably stop the interest rate rises, and maybe it will be the 5%, somewhere around there, that we'll see the end of that.
And I think this oil is the more you look at the world at the moment, the more just this oil and petrol is so important, isn't it? I mean, if oil spikes again, just the cost of food, you can see it being going still.
There's still a lot of dangers, like you're saying. Absolutely, I agree. I think there's a lot of maybe one-off type events that could spike the oil prices or food prices or anything else, right? So we're definitely not out of the woods, and I'm still a little bit nervous for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Anyway, talk about happier things. Some stocks on our market.
Yes.
And in fact, actually, while we're being miserable, let's talk about lithium.
Yes.
Because interesting auction with Pilbara Minerals today.
Yep. I hope you don't go to Pilbara and talk that you're in Pilbara, because otherwise you'll get thrown out.
Pilbara. Pill Barber. Wolf.
Maybe that's the correct way of saying it. I just don't know.
Well, I think when we arrived here, like 500 years ago, we'd have said, "Oh, there's a Pilbara."
Yeah, exactly.
And then it got changed to Pilbara.
Yeah.
Right, your mate, it's a Pilbara. But when we arrived, it was a Pilbara.
Where haven't you got a Pilbara?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, let's talk about Pilbara mineral, shall we then?
Okay, let's tell us about iron ore. It's lithium. No, sorry, I'm trying to do the accent. I can't think and do the accent at the same time.
All right, Dave. I think there's danger signs here.
Yeah.
I think there's big danger signs for lithium. So we've seen Pilbara having the auctions on a regular basis, and the prices they've been getting we're getting higher and higher and higher, and everyone's getting excited, high-fiving, FOMO, going to the moon, right? First time today, we've seen the prices actually go backwards. It's still elevated, high, right? So let's give it some credit. Lithium's still high, but there's the first signs of the auctions that's it, where maybe we're seeing the peak of these type of ridiculous prices for lithium, and maybe we're going to see some easing of that. And look, even all the brokers out there, they're thinking that it can't go any higher than this, right? We've got Macquarie, they're still bullish, but still moderating. And then we've got Goldman Sachs that thinks it's going to collapse, right? So they still think this is probably peak and going to come down, but two different ways of how it's going to come down. So this is the sign. This is another shot across the bow saying, warning, warning, warning. If you're in these sort of lithium stories, take profits. If they drop below trends, get out. And then, if things change again, we can always trade it again. We've seen it with, say, for example, coal. I thought it's possibly going to go further down, but it's having another little run, maybe the last shot of it. So it could happen with lithium, but I think that the bigger signs are that we are finally on the way down with lithium prices.
I'll tell you what, one positive, it's good for inflation.
Exactly. So you go, Dave. That's very well said, and you can think while you do other things.
SLX.
Yes.
So their technology, share price is okay. It's holding trend. You had a look at their technology, and Wolf, you didn't understand it.
No, I mean, this is the beauty about technology, right? Some things are just goes over the top of. I'm not sure if you were reading about fusion recently, about the breakthrough we've had in America.
Because I really understand that as well.
Well, in simple terms, is instead of splitting the atom, it is fusing the atoms together, right? So it's the safer way of getting nuclear energy, and this is obviously what we like to see. So they're trying to replicate the sun. It's not going to be easy, but they've finally done it yesterday, where they've actually got more energy out than they put in a simple terms. Now, it's probably going to take another 50 years, so it's probably going to be way past where in the bucket and the casket, Dave. But possibly we've seen something extraordinary that might help the world later down the track. Saying that. So what does this SLX have to do anything with that? Well, they've got lasers that they are obviously trying to use and improve some of these enriching processing for the old school nuclear fission, sort of nuclear fusion. So I'd be interested to see how this all goes. Look, like I said, some of these technologies are beyond me, to be honest, and this is part of it, but I'm still very interested in reading about it.
But you get the general gist.
Yeah, you get the general. It is positive, but the markets needs to probably work through it and see what it is.
All right. So are you're about to say it's just a trending stock?
Correct. That's what I say. Correct. And funny enough, look, let me just jump somewhere else for the moment, because I tell you why this is a trading story, and what I'm going to talk about in a second, because it's quite funny in a way, because they've got a very great idea, great technology, but can they commercialize it, and can they actually get some money out? Right? That's always the question. So yeah, it all looks good and beautiful and so on, and this is why you're all in trading it, because there is actually no fundamentals. So let me quickly jump to BRN, right? Because it's another one of those great idea, great technology, la, 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 la. So I'm looking today, right? I'm looking today at AFR. Sorry, not AFR. I'm looking at Livewire. And they had a very interesting article here called the top 10 ASX companies in terms of earnings quality, right? Earnings quality. Now, to me, earnings quality means they've got earnings, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So the top 10 ASX from 100 to 200 companies with earnings quality. What have we got in there? We've got Domain, Boral, BWP Trust, which is Bunnings, Deterra, West African Resources, interesting. Lavisa, okay. Brainchip, what? Dave, I tell you what, this is just beyond me. I don't even know how I'm supposed to react to this sort of stuff, but I think straight away, I'm looking at this list, I'm thinking, bow, bow, I'm not interested at all. It's just rubbish. If they've got Brainchip as earnings quality company.
But who writes these articles?
That's exactly right. I don't even know. I don't know, unless it's something about maybe what might happen in the future. But still, I mean, talking about, I think, when you put up a list with earnings quality, surely you've got to have some sort of a track record, wouldn't you?
Sounds a little bit dodge, but they're good. It's a good website. Maybe it's
absolutely. And look, it's just, I think it was done on the market meta research. That's what it was. So sorry, market meta research, but I disagree.
All right. So
sorry to digress slightly, but I just wanted to bring that across because I just got on what I just saw in that top 100 to 200 stocks, and Brainchip made the list. Earnings quality. All right, let's move on to some of the other stuff, Dave, that you've got.
Yeah, could you keep to the?
Yeah, sorry, the script. Sorry.
Okay, talking about you like WAF.
Yes, and as a reason, can you please bring up that? Can you please bring up that announcement? Because this is what I want everyone to see. Why you should be looking.
Well, they were on their list.
Yes, I know. And quality, wow. I mean, very impressed. But they're producing, aren't they? I'm pretty sure they're producing. But anyway, look at these results, Dave. This is what you get really excited about, right? 25 meters at 90, 24 meters at 38, 26 at 21, 20 at 19, 19 at 6. Now, this is quality stuff and consistent, right?
It's very good.
Exactly. This is what everyone should be aspiring to at the very least, right? So this is while it's infill, blah, blah, blah. It is still very, very, very good. And
I know what you like. You love stories in Burkina Faso, don't you?
Oh, I love them, Dave. I love West Africa. Safe as hell.
I'm surprised you like this company because it is in West Africa.
Yeah, look, the one thing obviously I don't like is West or Africa in general, of course, because it's just greater risk for me. But with results like this, when you have established your company and start producing, you get a lot of the risk out of the way, right? When you've got an established thing, because what happens then is the country you're in, you're probably paying some taxes to that thing, maybe probably paying some government officials at the same time. So they want you to keep going in a way. So look, it's definitely a high risk, but you cannot beat those results, and they are going to be a pretty big producer. So from that point of view, Dave, I think you still have to take notice of it.
Okay, so
you'd hold this. I think you still, on the results on the latest announcement previous to that, I think still deserves a hold.
So just another trending stock.
Yeah, absolutely. And most things are trending stocks, unless I say otherwise.
Anyway, say to me. I won't say anything. Don't want to get in trouble. Now, CTT.
Oh, yes.
Another trending stock.
Yes, it is.
The days of
find the announcement today. Actually, it's a good announcement because they've got some sort of a partnership or some sort of deals done with the actual brands they're selling, right? So you need that collaboration, you need that partnership, you need that big company in your corner, not doing stuff behind their back or without their knowledge or without the permission or whatever, right? Saying that, I went on the website just before. I'm thinking, okay, I'm a Hugo Boss fan because I wear my super trendy clothes, right?
Yeah.
For the TV, you have to look pretty smart, look like a James Bond type character. So difficult website, Dave. I tell you what, it's not easy. I'm not. They should be better than they are. For a company that sells top-end clothes, the website is very basic and very poor, I have to say. I'm not impressed at all. So they probably need to work on that.
So this is the website.
Yeah, look, I mean, it's very it's very basic.
Yeah, I suppose in Poland you get much more posher stuff than this, do you?
Well, the search function, for example. So if I click on, I was looking for search for Hugo Boss, so they come up with everything, but it doesn't give you that, like what you want to look for.
Look at these Loro Piana straight leg jeans. Normally 1,685.
It's crazy. And look, I don't mind. I don't mind this website and selling this sort of clothes much cheaper. It's good.
7,000 for.
I know, it's crazy, isn't it? But the prices are outrageous.
God, anybody
2,000 something.
Anybody that worries about their Equity Story membership, I think we'll just send them to Satir and have an idea.
Go and buy yourself a pair of pants.
Yeah. Would you rather great shirt advice every single day of the year or a nice jacket like that?
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. It is a nice jacket, isn't it?
No, but look, I think they could put a lot of more work into this website for sure, right? And it's still okay. I don't mind it. There's issues that I don't like. There's probably, there's probably going to be definitely some sort of a like for these companies by people that like to buy those top shelf at a discount stuff. So we'll see how we go. So it's tradable. It's tradable for sure, but high risk, high risk.
GL1 Lithium player, global Lithium, pretty average results. Also,
I would be very wary of this, Dave. If you're in this, I tell you what, I'd probably be taking profits, and I tell you why. Have a look at their results today, right? So even why they got everyone excited about, wow, we've increased it by over 100%. Our resources went up. The actual resource itself is of very average quality. 1% is average quality. In a normal price environment, lithium environment, Dave, this is not going to make money. I can guarantee you that. Well, I'm not going to guarantee you that, but I probably want to think there's a big chance that they're not going to make any money because there's better projects out there with the higher grades and probably better economics.
And Appin, so they've come out with good on them. They've got a new CEO. Now, I'm not being stupid here, but Ahmed. I don't know. It's maybe the name.
What? You don't like foreigners?
Well, you keep saying to me about Wolf. I just follow the charts and I don't like the charts. But you always say to me,
well, I know nothing about him, right? So it doesn't even look like he's internal either, does he? I mean, he's just coming out from outside and going to take over Appen by the looks of things. Is that right? It doesn't look like he's actually worked for Appen.
No, I don't think so.
He's coming X other things, but it's not about the actual names, Dave. It's about, I don't know anything about him. Although seems like he's got some big names on there, right? It's not internal either, which is also problematic.
Is this him from Canada?
Yes.
Oh, he doesn't look. He looks quite friendly.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, I've got no problem with a name. The fact is, how is he going to run this company? What sort of direction is he going to take it? It could be a great appointment because maybe internally you wouldn't probably promote anyone. So we just got to give it and see how it goes.
Okay, but he's
got nothing to lose at the moment, I'd say. If it was a CSL, I probably wouldn't want anyone to come out from the outside. If it's an Appen, maybe you want someone from the outside to come in and have a fresh look and maybe make a few changes.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand your theories on foreigners. That's it. Wolf.
I just put a greater emphasis on if I don't know someone and it's someone from overseas, I'm straight away skeptical. That's all.
Yeah. Okay. I'll have to get HR to call you later, Wolf.
Don't hire anyone from overseas.
All right, now Wolf. Just A2 milk. Funny enough, I think it did hit that target price that we put on the website. Now, you know what? It's a real funny one, this one, because all the major brokers are at $4 for this. Maybe a bit of short covering. It's most probably somewhere near. Maybe it might have another week. It's somewhere near the top. Tight stop if you're in it. Just stick your stop under. Really, maybe put your stop where the target price was if you're still in it at 6.75. If it goes below there by the end of the week, then get out and take a profit. Wolf, good to see these coal stocks. And talk about. So your exact words to me this morning was, "Oh, Dave, I think it's the last hurrah."
Yes, it is. I think it is the last hurrah for coal.
So the last hurrah. That's but it could be the last hurrah for another 4 or 5%. So I like the charts, Wolf. I think I actually had NHC on Einstein.
It's almost coming up to a buy signal, so you never know. But by tomorrow, this could be the best looking chart for a hot stock next week. I don't know. But look, we got to go with the facts really at the moment, and coal's now back over $400 again.
But the last hurrah.
Correct.
Okay.
That is the interpretation I'm looking at, the longer term, bigger picture things that I think it is the last hurrah.
And PL and lithium stocks
on the nose.
On the nose. They've had their last hurrah. It's over.
Well, maybe they will have the last hurrah like a coal, but for the moment on the nose. So potentially look at your positions in the lithium stories, and maybe also an idea is to not try to catch a falling knife. Just give them room to stop and see what happens then, and then we'll reassess whether we get back into them. I've got to give an honorable mention this week, Dave, because we haven't talked about it, as that's Lindsay, LAU, who's had a tremendous week this week.
Lucky it was a hot stock, wasn't it?
That's exactly why I wanted to mention, because you've done a great job with another one. And people are going, why'd you put as a hot stock? That's why. You just have to be patient.
All right, Wolf, thank you for giving me some applause.
Yes.
I need it. It's good for my ego. All right, Wolf, have a wonderful day. And tomorrow it's busy because we are live again at 12 o'clock tomorrow. So members, if you've got any problems, or you're in a stock or you don't know what to do with it, is it a hold or is it a sell?
Personal problems, with the wife, we'll talk about everything.
We do, and Wolf's good at stuff like that. As long as you're not a foreigner, right? If you're a foreigner, he's not very good. But
I just don't know your language.
But I can deal with you. That's fine.
All right.
All right, Wolf. Thanks a lot, mate.
Dave can speak your language. Pilbara.
Pilbara. All right. See you, champ.
See you guys.
Bye.